Welcome back. It's 7 minutes after 7. There's no stopping our resident mad scientist when it comes to teaching us about the lessons of physics.
Matt Selen joins us once again live with an experiment of atmospheric proportions. Earlier you showed us this balloon gets sucked into the vacuum of a beaker. That's pretty cool. What have you got for us this time?
Okay, we're going to do this except much bigger this time.
All right.
So we showed that we boiled some water, we got steam, we cooled the steam off, and we got a partial vacuum inside, and it was enough to suck the balloon in. We have water boiling in this drum here, you can see, because there's steam coming out. I'm going to remove the heat. Makes it a little quieter too. I'm going to close this valve, and now we have to cool this off. So I'm going to pour some liquid nitrogen on here. That's going to help cool it off. And I'm also going to squirt it with water. And hopefully, and it's making some interesting noises already. This may take a little while. I really want to thank a few people for helping me get all this equipment. We had Harold Scott help me get all the valves and things, and Tom Shaw helped me find these barrels. I got 2 of them so I could practice a little bit yesterday. And I also, oh, there we go.
Oh, cool.
And that big torch came from the O&M roofing shop. And the torch is just about the coolest thing in this experiment. Here we go. Can you see this thing collapsing? So what's happening here is, as the water inside condenses, we have basically a lot higher pressure outside, about 15 pounds per square inch on the outside, and maybe only 5 or 10 pounds per square inch on the inside. So the difference actually makes a big force, because there's a lot of square inches on this thing. And so it's enough to crush it. So if you walk around it, you can see that it's actually gotten pretty skinny.
Now, Matt, I've noticed a trend with your experiments. Liquid nitrogen is kind of the duct tape of physics, isn't it?
You bet. I love liquid nitrogen. It's one of my favorite things. And actually, I love duct tape, too, so it kind of works out that way.
If you could come up with an experiment that had liquid nitrogen and duct tape, everybody'd be happy.
Well, this one kind of did, because I put some duct tape around this valve here to make sure that I didn't spring a leak when this thing got really cold. So duct tape is everywhere.
How much will that can collapse, Matt?
Well, if we leave it long enough, it's going to collapse quite a bit. The one over here on the ground is the one I did the other day. And so it's collapsed a bit more than this one. Actually, the one we just did is even better, I think. So I think this was pretty successful.
How much water did you have in the bottom of the drum?
Maybe a gallon or 2.
It didn't take much.
No, it didn't take much. Basically, you just have to get the thing full of steam, and that's all you need to do. So I have a question for next week that I want to say.
Okay.
Okay, so imagine you're sucking a drink out with a long straw. Okay, and so imagine that, in fact, you're standing on a stepladder, and you have a hose in your mouth, and you have a glass of water on the ground, and you see it gets pretty hard to suck the liquid all the way up to your lips. Now, suppose you did the same thing on the moon. Is it easier to suck water out of an open drink sitting on the moon or sitting on the Earth? That's the question I want people to answer for next week. And next week, we're going to talk about more things to do with pressure and vacuum and all that good stuff.
I think I might know that one.
Excellent.
I think.
You think?
But I'm not eligible, so there you go.
No, you're not.
Thanks, Matt.
Okay, thank you.
If you have questions for our Wise Guy segment, feel free to write Matt at wiseguy@uiuc.edu, and he'll be happy to answer your questions, and maybe even your question will be turned into an experiment for the morning show.
That was really, I'd like to take one of his classes. I'll bet that's fun. 11 minutes after 7, our weather on the 3 is coming up next.